What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. This is, post by President Trump. And I'm sure many of y'all saw. It says United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details follow. So, have that, which is, pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie, definitely pretty amazing. This is a post, in the White House. Check it out.
Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Let me tell y'all something. A lot of people
Late last night,
I've been seeing are definitely, outraged about this. They're outraged about this. Me personally, this is one of the things that, things definitely need to get done. I don't know how y'all feel, but me personally, I look at, when it comes to a lot, I feel like President Trump, one of the things that people don't get, and that he's been standing with and he's been saying from the get-go, not only is President Trump, but the individuals that support, President Trump, I myself, is that it's America first. When it comes down to it, to make, having America, right. And in the sense of, not having drugs, not having a lot of crime and a lot of things, that's going on. So I definitely think, and feel as if, a lot of this is very, very important. Check it out right here. This is a post by Benny Johnson. President Trump speaks out following the capture of Nicholas. Check it out.
It was slightly busy, I would say. It was very dark all over, especially in Venezuela. The team did an incredible job. They rehearsed and practiced like nobody's ever seen. And I was told by real military people that there's no other country on earth that could do such a maneuver. If you would have seen what happened, I mean, I watched it literally like I was watching a television show. And if you would have seen the speed, the violence, they say that, the speed, the violence, they use that term. It was an amazing thing, an amazing job that these people did. There's nobody else could have done anything like it. It was slightly busy.
I'm telling y'all, definitely crazy. Definitely crazy, but one thing about it, just hearing it, saying that he watched it on television, pretty wild. I'm not going to lie, definitely pretty wild. So, like I said, at the beginning, is that there are a lot of individuals that are, in fact, mad about, this operation. Of course, the left. And again, I feel like when it comes down to it, it's no surprise because the left obviously, in a sense, don't care, when it comes to, Americans. So we have to put that, in perspective, as well. But check it out right here.
Mr. President, you're already getting reaction from members of Congress on both sides. One Democrat, Jim McGovern, is saying that you did not get authorization from Congress. And he says Trump just launched an unjustified illegal strike on Venezuela. Wanted to get your reaction to that.
Well, look, these are weak, stupid people. And they're trying to save themselves from almost destroying our country. If I didn't get elected, our country would not. I don't even think we'd have a country right now. We were heading down the path of destruction. We had inflation. We had high prices. They're the ones that caused high prices, not us. We're bringing the prices way down. We have oil now in many places $1.99 a gallon.
Let me explain something to y'all. The thing is that it's something definitely to put in the mind of we may think, what it could have been if Kamala would have won. You're obviously seeing it right now. Kamala, no one has heard. I'm pretty sure the last thing I heard of Kamala was she's doing a book tour or something. And y'all see what Tim Walz is going through. So we obviously see the things that's going on, regardless when it comes down to it. And, I just don't see how anybody, wouldn't. One thing about it, and I'm going to show y'all, is that the left, it goes to show y'all right here. The left is mad about it. The left is definitely mad about it. But you know who's happy? Who's actually happy? Venezuelans. That's who's happy. And I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all what I mean by that. I'm gonna definitely show y'all. But before we get into that, this is a post by Scott Jennings. And of course we're gonna get into the individuals that are pretty mad about this.
As well, say, hold on a second, do we want to start another war?
Good question. Well, I don't think it's very America first to let a narco-terrorist state with an illegitimate government that's aligned with China and Russia and Iran do things in our hemisphere that we don't like with drugs or anything else. I don't think we like it that they're trying to go into Guyana right now and take over their oil either. And so the president's position has always been, this is the Western Hemisphere, we're going to police it, and we don't even recognize these guys as a legitimate government. And so he's trying to bring about a situation where the worst people in the hemisphere are not enriching themselves, not distributing drugs. And if we wind up with a legitimately elected government there that's aligned with the United States instead of Russia, China, and Iran, that's America first.
I'd love to add some facts to this.
There it is. It's America first. Regardless how anybody put it, it's America first. And that's what people aren't getting whatsoever of putting, America first. And, what it's all about, and it's truly sad that these individuals are pushing this whole thing to something else. It's definitely sickening. You got right here, Deputy Chair Ilhan says, with today's action, Trump is signaling a new era of opening domination of the hemisphere and continued disregard of the international law and sovereignty. As Congress returns to session this week, we must vote on war powers resolution. So you literally have here this post. Congressional Progressive Caucus Deputy Chair Ilhan Omar released the following statement after news that Trump had launched airstrikes in Venezuela and captured its head of state. I'm telling y'all, check it out right here, y'all. Definitely insane.
A lot of the policies that we have put in place has kind of helped lead the devastation in Venezuela. And we've sort of set the stage for where we are arriving today. This particular bullying and the use of sanctions to eventually intervene and make regime change really does not help the people of countries like Venezuela, and it certainly does not help, and it's not in the interest of the United States.
Definitely sickening you have an individual like this, especially, my thing is, let me explain something to y'all. My thing is why speak on something like this, but you're not speaking on the whole situation of going, in Minnesota. That's what I got a problem with. That's what that change is. You always had these individuals talking about, President Trump, he's trying to change the fact of this and that, and he's trying to do this to distract us. Okay, let me explain something to y'all. It does not matter, bro. It truly does not matter. And I've said this plenty of times. It truly does not matter if President Trump has done something completely amazing, just like he's done, obviously. But they don't, they obviously don't see it. They're going to have an issue with it. I'm telling y'all. My thing is that you have Ilhan Omar that's obviously having a problem where she's at, but she's speaking on something like this. But not acknowledging what's going on, where she's at right now. As Jasmine Crockett, how it's going for her. That's all I got to say. 90% plus poverty rate. This is Nicolas Maduro's record. Historic, what do you got? 130,000 percent inflation and second most corrupt country. And Ilhan Omar has something to say, about this situation. Definitely needs to go back to Somalia. As Benny Johnson Post said, massive crowds have taken the streets of Venezuela to celebrate President Trump's capture of Nicholas. And y'all can see it right here. Literally just goes to show you right there. It says here, Venezuelans are now confronting liberal communists in New York City who are protesting in support of Maduro. Definitely disgusting.
Presidente Donald Trump. Regresen, que Trump no los quiere. Completo. ¿Qué haces tú aquí? Tú no eres estadounidense.
So, and you have these individuals, doing this, and that, says, thank you, Mr. President Donald Trump. And my thing is I've seen a post, and it literally said, I didn't put it in this video, of course. I don't know why I didn't, and I usually have them all. It's probably a reason why I didn't, honestly. It was probably too much cussing or something, but you actually had Venezuelans, letting those individuals know you don't know how it was. You don't know how things, were, or what my family, has been through and stuff like that. So I truly feel, it's just one of those, it's one of those things, man. It's definitely sickening that you have individuals. You literally have individuals and you have individuals out there that don't even know why they doing it. You got individuals out there doing it because of their friend. Doing it because and not even knowing actually what President Trump has accomplished. It's truly, truly sad. Check it out here from Marco Rubio. Definitely amazing on what he said here. Check it out.
Don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. Exactly. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States. And the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy. But instead, he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think that the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. Yeah. We'll talk and meet with anybody. But don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that, I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Is that a message for Cuba?
One thing about it, that people have to understand, and like I've been saying for a while, and I'm glad that Marco Rubio has said it again. President Trump is a man of his word, and that's what he's been doing, from the get-go. He said what he's going to do before he even stepped foot in the White House. And I'm just confused on why people are so surprised about it. You know, I would rather have somebody that's gonna step on and do what, you know, and you know, speak really truthfully, you know, and speak real, and let it be known on what he's actually what he's going to do. I want that. You know, I want to be able to have things done, you know, each and every day. You know, that truly means something to me, so I know it means something to you. I'm telling y'all, definitely amazing, definitely amazing, definitely amazing. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.